What's up, you guys? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Tonight is our regularly scheduled Friday night medically assisted recovery anonymous meeting, and I'm so glad that you guys couldn't make it. Let me go grab my phone because I have to have it to do this. Put it over there. Put that over there. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey, Misty. So come on in, you guys. Come on in. Have a seat. Have a seat. Pull up a chair and we will get started. Hey, Deidre. Okay. For those of you guys that don't know what MARA is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous. One size does not fit all. Do you use medications such as methadone, naltrexone, Suboxone, buprenorphine, antabuse, Paxil, Remeron, bupropion, gabapentin, baclofen, Topamax, etc., that is prescribed and approved by the medical community to treat various drug and alcohol use disorders? Many addicts and alcoholics that are utilizing evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel unwelcome. Here at Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, you're always welcome. Recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous is a support group of people who believe in the value of medication as a means to recovery. We understand that our individual needs may not be the same. Our backgrounds may not be the same, and our futures may not be the same. However, our desire to live a safe lifestyle joins us together. No judgment is our code, or non-judgment is our code. So, which y'all know how I feel about that. Like literally, I'm non-judgment is what I'm about here on my channel. So tonight, you guys, what we're going to talk about is powerlessness. Powerlessness. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that today. I was trying to say it earlier on another video that I was doing with the girls on Patreon, and I just couldn't get it out. So, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hey, 80s baby, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, here we go. Did you guys see the video I put up earlier today about my methamphetamine addiction? Hey, Des. How are you doing? Hey, Matt. What's up? Hola, hola. ¿Cómo está? I got the most amazing message today, you guys, and I don't know if the lady that messaged me will see this, but a woman messaged me today on Instagram, and she is I think she said she's a counselor, and she used to work with teenagers, but she just got moved to working with adults that are on medically assisted treatment. And she said she found my podcast and that she's been listening to it, and that it's really, really helped her to understand maintenance and the stigma surrounding it and how to help better help her clients. And so I was just like, wow, like I just put that podcast out. I think I have like 6 episodes, and I just put it out not thinking that anybody would listen to it. And it's just so cool that people are actually listening to it and it's actually kind of helping them, because I know that I can help you guys, but when I hear somebody that's like a counselor, and they're like, yeah, this was really benefiting me, it's like it makes me feel good. Like I'm glad I can help, So, do you guys understand when I say powerlessness? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what that means? So, powerlessness over alcohol and drugs. All right. So, a lot of us, okay, I'm going to speak for myself. For me, I struggled for many, many years getting sober because I could not admit and accept complete powerlessness over drugs and alcohol. I still wanted to hang on to the delusion that I had control over my addiction. Okay. Um, and I think it even talks about it in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It talks about how it's a delusion that we have in our mind where we think that we're still in control and that we're somehow, we're making it. It's not that big of a deal. What addiction? I've just got a little bit of a problem, nothing serious. And we were literally hopeless, when we're in active addiction, we are hopeless. And it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But when you're trying to get clean, or maybe for me, what happened was, and I'm going to share with you guys, when I finally realized that I was straight up powerless, I think I realized that I had a problem like pretty early on in my active addiction. Let me read something to you guys, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Most of us have been unwilling to admit that we were real addicts or alcoholics. No person likes to think of himself as bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking and using careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink and use like other people. The idea that somehow, someday, he will control and enjoy his drinking and using is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker and user. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it into the gates of insanity or death. Okay? We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were addicts. This is the first step in recovery. Okay? So, the first step in recovery is we admitted we were powerless over drugs and alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. And the first step in Mara is admitting that you're powerless over these drugs and alcohol, that your life had become unmanageable, and without help, you cannot succeed and get sober. So, basically, in Mara, what they talk about is that the step is, it goes a little bit farther to say that we need assistance in getting sober. Okay. So I can't wait until the Mara book comes out, so that way you guys can see, like, I just know it's going to be amazing, and I just know we're going to be able to read it together and actually relate to it together. Yes, I couldn't accept I was an addict at all. 18 years later, and I finally did. Yeah, I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is, you guys, about. I think it might be for me. I know that a lot of it was, I think, shame and embarrassment. I didn't want to feel like there was something wrong with me. Um, and it was pride. Hey, Tony, pride also kept me from admitting that I had a problem, and accepting it. I remember when I first started working the steps with my sponsor. Um, at the time, I was working with a girl named Christy, and then her sponsor was this girl named Heather, right? And this girl Heather, y'all, she knew the steps backwards and forwards, upside down. She was one of those people that like literally read the book like 675 9,999 times. Yes. And I think that we hide behind, I think we get, first of all, we're ashamed, we're embarrassed, but then also we have this pride deep down inside of us, and we're like, I should be able to handle this, or I can't admit defeat. And that's what we have to do. When you want to get sober and you want to change your life, you have to fully admit and accept that you have been defeated by drugs and alcohol, and that they are kicking your ass and taking your name, and you have to surrender, because the only way you're going to be able to get out of that addiction is if you surrender and wave the white flag and step away from drugs and alcohol. I know, hey Aaron, I know for me, like, I had to go into treatment, you guys, because going into treatment separated me from those substances long enough for me to get my mind about me. You know what I'm saying? Um, because when you're stuck in that constant cycle of using and getting high and then going through withdrawal and then getting high again and then being miserable and then going through getting high and going through withdrawal and then being miserable and then lying and then cheating and then getting in trouble and going to jail and all this stuff that goes along with the cycle of addiction, right? It's like there's no moment of clarity when you're like in that vicious cycle. So for me, getting away from those substances and being inside of a treatment center where I could actually like reflect on the way my life was going and how I was fucking my whole life up. And not only was I ruining my life, but I was starting to affect my son's life. Hey Nick. And that was the discouraging part about it because I could for some reason, you guys, I could handle ruining my life, and I could just sweep that under the rug and think nothing about it. But when it came to affecting my child's life, that was a whole nother story. Hey Marcy, what's up? We're just talking about powerlessness and surrendering and waving the white flag and accepting help and reaching out and getting help. Here's another thing I think. I feel like back when I was getting high and trying to get sober, I feel like it was so much for me, it was so easy for me to say like I want to go to treatment. You know what I mean? Like let's find me a 30-day treatment center. Mom, I need to go to rehab. And then I would get on the phone because my mom would make me call the places. She wouldn't do it for me. And I would be calling these places trying to get in and get to treatment because I wanted a break. I was tired. I was ran down. I was defeated. And these times would happen for me at different times in my life where I was just defeated. I just felt like I was just hopeless. I was just tired of living that life. And I would go into treatment and I would start feeling better. I'd get my weight back up. I start eating again. I start feeling good, putting my makeup on, fixing my hair. My brain, the fog in my brain would clear. And I would really feel good. And I'd be like, you know what? This is it. This is the time I'm going to change my life, and I'm not going back to that old life. I'm going to change and I'm going to stay sober this time. Scout's honor. Like I mean it. I meant it with every fiber of my being. And then I'd come out of treatment. And I might make it 3 months. I might make it 6 months. I might even make it 9 months. And then I would relapse. Man, it was the worst feeling in the world to make it some months and then relapse and think back and go, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? What am I not doing that I need to do? First of all, I wasn't completely powerless. I hadn't surrendered. I still had this little reservation in the back of my mind, this little thought that I would say to myself, one day I'll be able to get high and not have any consequences and actually enjoy it, have a good time. And I thought that. I thought that after I had a year sober or 2 years sober or 9 months sober, that I could pick up one more time and everything would be okay. And that's what always took me down through there. It took my mom and husband threatening me that my mom would take my daughter before I quit pain management and went to the clinic. I'm coming up on 3 years on methadone in February. That's awesome, Marcy. I am so proud of you, girl. I am so proud of you. And you just keep doing what works for you. And that's the thing, you guys. All of us are so different. Marcy is a success story at the methadone clinic. I'm a success story at my Suboxone clinic. Some of you guys are success stories at yours, and you have to find what works for you. That's the thing. So for so many years, I was trying to do these different things and things weren't catching. You know how when you're like, there's square peg in a round hole. That's what was trying to happen. I was basically trying to fit in these spots I wasn't getting it. And so it wasn't until I got on Suboxone and got into therapy and then started working the 12 steps that I actually started to learn about the disease of addiction, and I actually started to get a clear mind long enough to where I could even hold on to any amount of time, you know? Everyone around me would know I was using just by my voice. I would deny it every time. Misty, my husband is the same way, girl. Anytime that I could call him and his voice goes up like 2 octaves when he's high, it'll be like high pitched, and I just know right away. I'm like, "What are you doing?" But it's so crazy because we think that nobody even we think nobody knows, you know what I mean? We're like, "Nobody knows." It's all a big secret, but really everybody knows. It took me a year just to get my mind clear. Yeah, and listen, that's what I'm talking about. Going into treatment, you guys, and separating yourselves from those substances and those people that are still getting high. Sometimes that's what it takes to. I know for me, I couldn't have gotten sober without going into treatment. Like, seriously, I couldn't have even gotten to a point where I could have gotten on Suboxone. Hey, Nate, what's up? Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I couldn't even gotten to a point where I could get on maintenance medication. What the hell? Because when I was using, you guys, it was like I was so weak minded, and it wasn't that I was weak minded, it was that the disease of addiction had its grips on me. And with the disease of addiction, you lose the power of choice. Okay? You are powerless. That's what we're talking about tonight. Straight up powerlessness. Okay? And when you're going through that and it's like admitting complete defeat. It's like it's like being at the bottom of the bottom and knowing that there's no other way out but up. And in order to go up, you have to be down. You know what I mean? So let me tell you the story about powerlessness when I finally realized what was really going on in my life. My son got taken by CPS, right? And I came out of treatment and I started working with a girl who started taking me through the steps. Hey, Cindy, to surrender, swallow your pride. Yes. Hey, Merk. Hey, guys, we're talking about powerlessness. You guys know I got a little bit of an early start. Um, I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about powerlessness. So, okay, let me tell you what happened. So, my son got taken from me by Child Protective Services um, because my best friend called CPS on me. My ex best friend. This was a girl that I used with. We were junkies together. We shot dope together. We gave each other hepatitis C together. Like, that's the kind of friends we were. You feel me? We were friends of convenience. What do you got for me? Oh, you got some dope. Let me get some of that. Oh yeah, I got some dope too. Oh girl, I just got paid. Let's go get high together. That kind of friend. After me and my husband, we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, had my son, we really went out on a bad relapse, and I was leaving and not coming home, and I was shooting meth and shooting oxys, and I was just very I was losing my mind. I was going crazy. Um, I was I was not stable. I was hallucinating. I was in a constant state of psychosis. And I was in no way able to take care of my son. And I take full responsibility for that. Okay. So my friend called CPS on me and they took my son. They took my son and I went straight into treatment that day. Okay. I went into treatment. I stayed in treatment for 30 days. When I got out of treatment, I started working with my sponsor. Her name was Christy. At the time, I was working with a girl named Christy. Me and Christy used to be in active addiction together, and she had gotten sober 2 years before I did. And so she had been working the steps for 2 years. And I was like, damn, if she can get sober, then that means I can get sober because me and her used to get high together, you know? And so she started taking me through the steps and she took me to this big book study one night. And the kind of sponsor that Christy had, which was my grand sponsor, was this girl named Heather. And the only way I can explain this girl to you guys is that she was like Earth's angel. She was like on a she was on a whole nother level spiritually that I could not. Now I understand it, now that I'm sober and I'm doing the right thing and I'm working the program and I'm staying consistent. But back then I was like, wow, she is like she was like vibrating on a spiritual level that I could not even understand. Hey Megan, what's up, girl? I'm so glad that you got to catch me, girl. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, sit down, hang out with us for a little bit. We're talking about powerlessness. Powerlessness over drugs and alcohol. So I would watch her she took me to this big book study with her sponsor Heather. And like I was telling you guys, Heather was like spiritual AF. Like I was like, "Damn, I want to be spiritual like her." You know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by that is she was really connected to her higher power. And I don't know if her higher power was Jesus Christ or like some other being, but she was connected to whatever her higher power was. And you could just feel it radiating out of her. She had this peace about her, she had this calm about her, she had this confidence that wasn't cocky about her. She had everything that I wanted to have. I was like, wow, I really look up to her. And she was sharing and she was taking us through the big book step by step. Okay. And it's called Big Book Study. And it was amazing. And she would explain it to us just perfectly. Well, she called on me to speak and she said, Nicole, can you share with us, have you come to the realization that you're powerless yet? And you guys know how emotional I am. Hey, Mad Feathers. Hey, Big Easy. Hey, you guys. Hey, Brad. I see all you guys here. Thanks for being here. You guys know how emotional I am. Well, I used to be even more emotional when I first got sober. So y'all just take that there, okay? I was crying 24/7 back then. So she asked me if I had come to the realization that I was powerless, if I had surrendered yet. And I thought I had. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm powerless. But today I'm choosing to be sober. I'm choosing recovery today. I'm not ever going back. I was just like still in this delusion that I still had control and I hadn't given up control yet. I still thought that I was in control over myself and my addiction and these drugs. But you guys, like, and what I mean by this is I still, in my prideful, egotistical, cocky little mind, I still thought that it was me that was doing all this. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's when she sat me down and she sat me down. We met after the meeting and she sat me down and she talked to me about how it's a miracle that I'm even able to sit here today and talk to you guys without getting high. Because when I was using, drugs and alcohol had a hold on me. They had me hijacked. They had my brain hijacked, okay? And so when you're blessed with the mental clarity to realize that you're fucking up your life, that's nothing short of a miracle. Because when you're getting high for so many years, it is damn near impossible to break away from that habit, that lifestyle that you've been doing for so long. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Today, yes, today I am making better choices. Today I have repetition, I have a program, I have habits that I have made. But it's still by the grace of God, by the grace of my higher power, that I'm able to sit here and make good decisions today. Because when you're living in that style of life for so long, it's like The only way I know how to explain it to you guys is it's like the devil is possessing you. That's the only way I know how to explain it. It's like it is like a demon or some other force is running you. That's I don't know how to explain it any other way, okay? So I still thought that I was in control, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It wasn't until I sat down with Heather that I realized I had to let go. I had to stop. I wasn't in control. I wasn't managing my life. I wasn't doing anything right. Everything was fucked up because for so long I thought I was making it. I thought I was making do. I thought I was doing okay. Even though I was homeless and lost my car and, you know, had my son taken away and caught hepatitis C and lost my job and went to prison, in my mind, I still thought that I was making the choice to get high. I still thought that this is what I want to do. I want to get fucked up. I love this. This is how I like getting high. This is what, no, I wasn't, I was in robotic mode. I was in autopilot. And that's what happens to you when you're on dope, when you're on drugs and alcohol. You are hijacked. You're on autopilot. The person inside of you, deep down in you, you don't want to be high. You don't want to do that to your life. That's not you making those decisions. That is what I'm talking about. Letting go of control and realizing that you're powerless over those substances, and as long as you keep putting those substances in your body, you're not going to be able to do anything right. You're not going to be able to make any changes. You're not going to be able to stop. As long as you keep putting it in, you're going to keep putting that bad shit out, right? So here I am sitting with this girl at Big Book Study, and she's basically telling me that everything I believe that I somehow have control over is a lie. Like I have no control, and I'm a hot mess, and I need help, and I need somebody to guide me, right? And I just remember, like, it was the scariest feeling in the whole wide world to realize that everything that you've ever been doing before was not it wasn't what you thought it was. I never had control over my addiction. I never had control over my life. I was out of control. My everything was unmanageable. Shit, unmanageable. Everything was fucked. Everything was fucked. I had nothing. And so it was almost like, okay, when I don't know if any of you guys are religious, but when I was growing up, I remember going to church. And I remember my mom telling me about, what it feels like to have the spirit of the Lord come down and you just experience that. That's kind of like what it was like when I was sitting and talking with Heather, is that I was realizing all these things that I had believed were all a lie. Everything I thought about my life was a lie. Everything I thought was me thinking that I was making these good decisions, thinking that I had control, thinking that I could do this on my own and I could make these changes on my own. And I don't want you guys to ever get discouraged and think that I'm saying that you can't change. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we are stuck in a delusional world in our minds when we're high and drunk. Okay? When if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic like I am, when you're getting high and drunk, you're in another world. Your brain is not operating on the same frequency as people who are not on drugs are, okay? So everything that I thought I knew and that I thought I had was null and void. And so I had to learn a whole new life over again. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And that's what it was like whenever I was getting sober and I was learning about how to change my life and I was learning that I had to change everything. That's scary as fuck. You practice this way of life for so many years, right? And then you have to change everything. What's that saying they say? Oh, you don't have to you have if nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay? If nothing changes, then nothing changes. And there's only one thing you have to change in your life. What? That's everything. Okay? That's what I'm saying. You have to change everything in your life. And so when you are finally realizing that, right? When you get to the point and you're on your step one and you're admitting that you're powerless and you finally come to the realization that you have no control over your addiction and that you need help to get better and that you finally admit that and then you accept it and then you find the help and you accept that. That's what I'm talking about. It's like it's like I said, it's like everything you ever knew not wasn't true and now you're learning a whole new way, you know? I don't mean to get so worked up about it, but it was a realization for me, you know, and it was scary. I was really, really afraid, you guys, because I remember riding home with my husband from that meeting because we were at the meeting together, and I was crying the whole way home because it was like my brain had just blowed up inside my head. Hey, Paco. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like so surrender, basically. That's what powerlessness is about. It's about true surrender. It's about knowing that the control that you have no control as long as you stay in your addiction and you keep going in that life, that everything that you ever wanted in life and more is going to get shit on and you're going to end up losing it and you might as well just you're going to die. You're going to die. And that's what it was like for me. It was scary. It was uncomfortable. It was like a big old slap in the face. It was like a bright light. And then, you know what happened? Then the next day when I woke up, I remember going, okay, I don't know how to live my life. And I need someone to help me, show me how to live, just like to keep me on the right track. And that's why when I talk to you guys and I tell you and I suggest things to you, it's not because I'm trying to be a know it all or I want any of you guys to think, oh gosh, it's because I know for me that I needed somebody to guide me. I needed somebody to show me how to live my life, you know? Oh, Daniel, I love that song. Oh, it it was just like it was such a hard time for me, you guys, but it was what so when you get to that point, and I know a lot of you guys are probably there right now, and you're like, damn, Nicole is saying what I mean. I am powerless. Okay. That is the most, when you are at that point, then you're ready. You're ready to make changes and you're ready to learn and take suggestions. All you got to do is find somebody to take you and to suggest you and to show you how to live your life clean. Okay, it could be anybody. It could be you could have a mentor at your church. Maybe you go to church a lot and you have a mentor there. Or if you go and do the 12 steps, you get a sponsor there. Or if you're here on the internet and you find somebody that's in recovery that can coach you, there you go. But it's like basically like having an older sober sister or brother, right? Who's going to show you because they know how to live the sober life, right? So now what they do is they're going to show you how they learned how to live the sober life because they learned how to live the sober life from somebody else. Do you feel what I'm saying? It's scary, but if you fully surrender, admit that we're powerless, it's like a bright light that opens your eyes. Yes, that's a good one because I was like trying to think of it, it's literally like the heavens have opened and the sky is like God's coming out of the sky or something, you know, like it's just a realization. It's just that's what it is. Like, wow, okay, I got to do something different and I need some guidance, you know? I had 5 years this past September. Praise God. That is amazing, Megan. Congratulations, girl. That's such an amazing accomplishment. So, anyway, that was such a pivotal moment for me in my recovery journey, you guys, because I had never, ever actually admitted that I was powerless. I had always thought that I was still in control. And so I remember that happening and I remember that transition. It was a very pivotal moment in my recovery. Nate is wilding out upstairs, you guys. He has been driving me crazy all day. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to my mom and dad's house. So, do any of you guys have anything that you want to add about your personal journey to admitting powerlessness and surrendering to the will of your higher power and accepting guidance in your recovery? Do any of you guys have anything you want to add? If you want to, let me know. If you want to call in, I got my phone right here. But now, that's the thing, you guys. That's what this is all about. That's what surrender and powerlessness is, Sandra. It's step one. Megan, that's awesome. How much have you went down? It's brutal. Stay away from it. Oh, I'm not. Matt, are you okay? Hey, Matt, you can text me too if you ever need to. Let me put my phone number in here. Any of you guys that need support, or if you just like, hey, Nicole, this is what's going on in my life. What do you think about it? Text me. All you have to do is text me. I'll text you right back. Okay? And I mean, it can't hurt, right? Yes, Misty, that's right. Megan, you're in the right place, girl, because, okay, this is January 10th. Next month on the 14th, I go to the doctor and I'm going down to 2 milligrams, girl. One particular man in general chose to be that example for me. He chose to demonstrate how a man, father, son should conduct themselves after getting clean. Actions speak so much louder than words. That's right, Daniel. That is right. Hey, Jim. What's up, bub? You changed your name again, fool? I totally understand what you're talking about, Megan. We have, you can come here. We have the Discord chat where you can chat in there. And then we have the Facebook group at Real Talk Recovery. And then I also have a Patreon group. So whatever, there's 3 different options: Discord, Facebook, or Patreon. What milligram did you start at? And what are you down to now? Okay, Matthew, I started out at 8 milligrams. I went up to 12 about a month and a half, 2 months after I got on Suboxone. And so I stayed at 12 for 4 years. And now I'm down to 4 milligrams, which I can't even believe it, you guys. Like, I cannot believe it. If you need to stay on a certain dose a little longer than you thought, there's no shame in that. That's right, Marcy. Take your time. Like, so for instance, when I go down to 2, here you go, Nate. When I go down to 2, I might just stay there for a couple times. Yes, yeah, Debbie, it's real_talk_recovery. And yeah, you can join. Captain Napton's in there. She'll approve your Captain and Missa are in there. They'll approve your request. Thanks, Matthew. I'm taking it real slow. How come you can't just cut yourself off Suboxone at this point? Well, Jim, because 4 milligrams is still a pretty substantial dose of Suboxone. So if I jumped off at 4 milligrams, honey pie, I'd be sick as hell. You explain things better than anyone I know, Nicole. Of all the things I've read and people I watch, you've been getting through to me. Oh man, hungry ghost awaiting. That makes me so happy to hear that. And like I said, girl, text me if you want to talk. I'm always around. I had to go to jail and get rock bottom, and I let God take over. I'm on 6 milligrams. That's great, Megan. You're doing great, girl. That's awesome. hungry ghost awaiting, I want you to know this, okay? I did not understand for so many years, okay? I was reading this book, I was reading the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was going to AA meetings, I was going to NA meetings, I would hear people share, and it literally sounded like they were speaking Japanese or Chinese. Like I couldn't understand any of it. It was like, what are they saying, right? And then I went into this treatment center. The last treatment center I went to, it was called Oasis. For those of you that want to know, there's this treatment center here where I live in Little Rock called Oasis. Best treatment center I've ever been to. And no, I'm not sponsored and I don't work for them. It was just the best treatment center. I'm telling you. They taught me so much about the disease of addiction. And what he did was he literally dumbed it down to where I could understand it. The guy who taught me, his name is Oscar. He used to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and he was just a cool old man, about 60 something years old. And hey, Cindy, he broke it down for me so easily. Just like I tell you guys about the disease and how the cycle of addiction works, he taught me that. Just like I teach you guys about, surrender and acceptance and staying consistent and seeking help. He taught me all these things. And then I learned a lot of the things from that lady I was just telling you guys about, Heather, because she really helped me to see that what I was struggling and the way I was going was because I hadn't surrendered. Hey Eve, what's up, girl? Oh, am I frozen? I'm sorry, guys. Probably because my big head ass was moving around too much. When I start getting excited, I start talking with my hands. But I want you to know, like, it's totally normal. I didn't understand either. Okay. A lot of the journey that you're going to be on when you're getting sober, you guys, is an internal spiritual journey. Okay. Because right now, you're cutting yourself off from the sunlight of the spirit because you're blocked by drugs. Okay. Hey, Caleb. I haven't seen you in a while, Caleb. I'm so glad you're here. When you're getting high, okay, let me think. Okay, so do you know how I was talking about the spiritual frequency that some people are on a higher frequency than other people spiritually because they've connected to that, right? So when you're getting fucked up and you're high on drugs, you're not even on the frequency. You're like below the frequency. Like you're not even connected. You're not connected to the earth. You're not connected to your higher power, God, the nature, other people. Like you can't feel anything else except for those drugs because you're blocked by those drugs. Drugs and alcohol block you from being able to have any kind of connection, any kind of love with a human being, any kind of relationships, right? You're blocked. That's what drugs and alcohol do. They block you from being able to connect. Okay? And I know you guys have heard people say this. The opposite of addiction is what? Connection. All right. So that whole time we were getting high, we were blocked off. We were not connecting. We were not connecting through love. We were not connecting through talking to people, through communication. We weren't connecting through our spirituality. We weren't connecting through anything, right? So when we get off drugs and alcohol, that connection can be reestablished, but because it hasn't connected in so long, we have to learn how to build it and to get plugged back in. Okay. And so that's what I'm talking with you guys about when you're surrendering and you're letting go and you're saying, you know what? I have lost this connection. I don't know how to live my life. I don't know how. I need guidance. This is what I'm talking to you guys about. I hope that helps you understand a little bit better. When you read from the big book, it was the first time any of it made sense to me. It's crazy. That's hungry ghost awaiting. That's a sign, girl. That's a sign. I'm telling you, when the big book first made sense to me, I was that means you're ready, girl. You're ready to change your life. Yeah, I know, right, Jimmy? That's exactly what it is. And you guys, when I say God or Jesus or higher power, like, please, whatever your higher power is, just put that in there, okay? Because all of us have different connections religiously or spiritually. So always remember that. You know what, Megan? This is like my journal. Honestly, I haven't been writing in a journal in a long time, but when I first started out my recovery journey, my sponsor made me keep a journal. And when I say made me, I mean, she told me I needed to, so I did. I would have to argue that when you're getting unloaded, you are tuned into spirituality, very dark, hideous stuff. Right, right. Like the other side of things, Daniel, like the devil's, like the demon side of things. But I see what you're saying, the dark side. The dark side. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get out of that dark side and get over here to the light side, you guys. Do you feel me? Oh, is the video. Hey guys, is it still frozen for you guys? I used to be against. No, not frozen. Okay, good. I'm so glad you guys are all being so supportive in the chat. That makes me so happy to see that, you guys. Hey chat, I'm new here. I know this is off topic, but didn't I hear you say you suffer from migraines as well? Hey Jen. Yes, girl. Okay, so the migraines. When I first started having migraines, you guys, it was because my hair was too long, I think. I'm not sure though. So I've had migraines ever since I can remember, ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old. And so if you guys don't know this about me, when I was a young girl, we were Pentecostal. And so we weren't allowed to cut our hair. So my hair would be down past my butt, very, very long. And my hair is very thick. And so when I was a little girl, I would have migraines that were so bad that my mom would have to tie a tourniquet around my head and I would have to lay in a dark room. It was bad, you guys. But now that my hair's a little shorter, it gets better, but I still have them. And I think I think it has a lot to do with this up here because my sinuses are messed up. If you can see on this side of my nose, it's like sunk in on this side. Well, y'all know what that's from. Okay, hold on. I think the issue. Okay, sorry guys. I'm trying to read your comments. Sorry guys. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, correctional officer stories. I'm doing good, man. Just talking about recovery. It did cause really bad. It's hard not having family or friends. I've been very isolated. I will reach out to you. You've taught me so much from listening to your videos. Absolutely, girl. Just text message me anytime. I'll answer. Ask anybody. Jimmy, tell her that I answer. Tell her marijuana maintenance. Marijuana maintenance texted me the other day, and we were getting to talking. And here's the thing, you guys. Okay. Also, if you're on opiates and you're struggling, listen. I don't tell people to get on maintenance medication. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a girl in recovery who's trying to share her experience to help other people. But I want y'all to hear me out. For those of you guys that are in active opiate addiction still, I want you to hear me out, okay? If you're struggling with active addiction and you're out there on heroin and fentanyl, okay, and you can't seem to get yourself sober, you keep relapsing, you've tried everything, you've been to AA, you've been to treatment centers, you've done this, that, and the third, and you haven't tried maintenance medication, just go and talk to somebody about it. Just go and talk to a doctor or make an appointment with somebody and just take a look into it. Because I want you guys to realize something, okay? I was so closed-minded and I struggled for over 10 years back and forth, relapse, recover, relapse, prison, relapse, rehab, relapse. It wasn't until I went and I got on Suboxone that the obsession, that opiate obsession, okay, it was like I was constantly thinking about shooting dope. it was just dimmed just enough for me to like have a chance to breathe, a chance to realize that, hey, I maybe I can do this. Let me go get into therapy. And I started listening to all the things that the doctors were telling me. Go to therapy, Nicole. Get a sponsor. Get into some meetings. Get serious about your recovery, right? But for some reason, you guys, I struggled while I was totally abstinent. I don't know why. A lot of people are different. Oh, some people can get sober through cold turkey and never look back. Then I see other people who struggle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? But let me just tell you this. Nobody knows what's best for you except for you. And you won't know until you give it a try or research it. So, you guys know I will never tell you what to do with your sobriety. I'm never going to tell you to go get on Suboxone, go get on methadone, okay? But I will tell you this. I have nothing bad to say about Suboxone. It saved my life. I'm so grateful. And now I'm tapering. I'm tapering slowly. I'm in no rush. And I'm not having a bad experience. And if I do get off Suboxone and it's like horrible, I will tell you guys. But I'm honestly ready for whatever it is because these 4 years of recovery that I have built are worth it. These 4 years of stability, these 4 years of having my son back, these 4 years of being gainfully employed, these 4 years of being able to get my own car, all this shit is worth it because I couldn't have done this before. I couldn't even stay sober before. It was crazy. Um, so that's what I'm trying to say. Suboxone gave me the opportunity, you guys, to be able to get some stability in my life. And now, because of that, what's up, OG Scotty? I see you. Now, because of that, now it's not like a cockiness, but it's like I have a confidence in my recovery. And this has to happen. You cannot just go get on Suboxone and expect anything to happen. You have got to if you get on Suboxone, you've got to get into therapy. You have to do it. And you need to be in some kind of recovery program. 12 steps, MARA, Smart Recovery, Refuge Recovery, some kind of program though. You have to, you guys, okay? You cannot get on Suboxone or get on methadone and expect yourself to be cured. That's not how it works, okay? The medication is just a tool to help you, okay? And it can help you maintain, it can help you get to where you want to go. I mean, but that's the thing. You won't know until you try, and when I talk to some of you guys that are just constantly back and forth relapsing on fentanyl and heroin, I really get worried, you guys, because you're going to die. That's the thing that I'm trying to explain to you guys. I would rather you go get on Suboxone than be dead, because then at least you have a chance. Okay, you can get off Suboxone whenever you're ready. But if you're dead, then you're not going to be able to ever do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, if you are a dope addict like me, you guys, you're shooting everything you can, and then you're popping Xanaxes behind it. So you're dying. You're dying. Okay, every single time. So that's why a lot of people get up my ass about being on Suboxone or about supporting MAT treatment, you guys. But it makes sense, okay? It makes sense. It's it's scientific based treatment, okay? And that's why it works, because you can be monitored while you're on this medication. You can have therapy while you're on this medication. You can have you can utilize a support network, a sober support network. You have got to do the work though. Okay? You can't just get on the medication and not do nothing, okay? Now you have to do the work. That's great. I've never had a B12 shot, but I'm sure it helps. Anything can help, right? And I think in Canada, girl, I think you guys have free treatment there. So what are you waiting for? Get your ass into the treatment center and go get on that medication. Because if I'm just telling you guys, like, if you're struggling and you're a chronic relapser like I was, that was my problem. I was always relapsing, always relapsing. Okay? That's why I gave maintenance a try. All right? I was so against it. My husband got put on it first, and I was pissed. I was pissed that he got on it. But I'm grateful that I did now, because now I'm able to, now I have my life, you guys. I have my life together, and the longer I stay, the longer I stay on my treatment and I stay stable, the better I'm going to be when I decide to jump off. This is just me stacking up days. So that way, when the end time comes that I want to jump off, I'm going to have that, stability behind me, that stability backing me up. And then I'm going to have all you guys backing me up. I didn't know there were doctors that good. I've gone through so many. They're behind the times or flat out don't know what they're talking about. It's awful. Yeah, did you guys see that Dr. B uploaded a video today about benzodiazepine? Damn, OG Scotty, I'm glad that you came back to us, but man, I mean, just think about it. Without that, you could be dead today. You could be dead. Here in California, counseling is a requirement at the clinic I'm in. Methadone has saved my life. I have a broken screw in my neck from a failed fusion, and methadone helps my pain and helps with cravings. Yes, Marcy, that is great. Hey, fucked up gamer, I see you. I see you all over these YouTube streets. So that's the thing, you guys. I just want y'all to know that, I don't want you guys to ever feel like, because I'm on this medication, that you have to get on this medication, or that I'm trying to push that on you. But I just want you guys to understand that, you know, this disease of addiction is serious and it's deadly. And I just don't want you guys to die. I just don't want you guys to die. Okay? And that's really all it is. Oh, really? Where you live in marijuana maintenance? Do you live in Canada too? Oh, you guys all live in Canada. I have a lot of subscribers that live in Canada, you guys, which is pretty freaking amazing. So, anyway, you guys know that I'm here to support you in whatever treatment options that you guys pick or go forward with. I'm here to support you in that. If you go into an abstinence-based treatment and you go into 12 steps and all that, I will support you. I believe in the 12 steps. I believe in treatment. I know that you can be successful in all these different ways, because I've seen people succeed in abstinence. I've seen people succeed with the 12 steps. I've seen people succeed with methadone and Suboxone and Sublocade and Vivitrol. It's just finding what's right for you. And so for me, it took me many times to figure out what was right for me. And so I just want you guys to know, hey, Luca, that I support you in whatever treatment recovery plan that you choose for you. I'm going to support you in that 100%. I just want you guys to do the most. I want you guys to go to therapy. I want you guys to be hitting meetings. I want you guys to be coming to these meetings. I want y'all to be calling people that are sober. I want y'all to be chatting with other people that are sober. I want y'all to have like literally 20 people on your sober support network phone call system. Yeah. How many of you guys have a book of phone numbers that's just people that are in recovery? So if you're having a bad day one day and you feel like you're going to do something stupid, you call somebody that's sober, right? That's what you guys need to be doing. But if you smoke bud, are you considered in recovery? Well, I know a lot of people that smoke marijuana that they consider themselves sober. So here's the thing with that, Jen. I don't talk about anybody else's sobriety. You know what I mean? I just talk about mine and my recovery. Because here's the thing. I have been judged for being on maintenance medication, and people have told me that I wasn't sober and I wasn't in recovery because I'm on Suboxone. So I don't, honestly, I just want you guys to know that I support you, you know? Matt, yeah. See, the thing about me is that if I smoke marijuana, it's gonna make me mad, and then y'all are not gonna see me because I'm gonna be out going to get high, for real high. You know what I mean? Really, Marcy? Oh, that's great. Vivitrol. I've never been on Vivitrol, but I was actually talking to Dr. B about that. He said like whenever I taper off of Suboxone, that would be a good step to kind of keep me safe is to get on Vivitrol. Um, just in case, you know what I'm saying? Because I think what Vivitrol is it's just the blocker. And so if I was wanting to go out and get high, then that Vivitrol shot would block it. You know what I mean? And see, that's the thing, you guys. With me, I'm an addict through and through. So if there's a substance that I can take that produces a high, I'm gonna abuse it. The reason why Suboxone is such an amazing medication is because it reaches a ceiling effect in your system. And as long as a person takes it every day as prescribed, they get no euphoria from that Suboxone. Okay. So that's why Suboxone is such an amazing medication for us drug addicts because we're not getting that euphoria or that high from it. So for me, when I get that high from weed or I get that high from opiates or I get that high from cocaine, I want to go out and get more of a high. That's why Suboxone has been such an amazing medication for me because I take it as prescribed. I don't abuse it and it works really well for me. Um, And so Matt says, I don't want to get on subs because I'll abuse it. And see, Matt, only you know you. And see, the thing about it is with me, at first, I thought that if I took more Suboxone, that it would be better. But the way Suboxone works, you could take 12 strips and it ain't going to do shit. You're probably going to be feeling like shit and having a headache, but it's not going to make you high at all. The only way to abuse Suboxone, and y'all better not be going out and doing this shit, is to divert your medication. Brad, that's probably because she's not an addict. You know what I mean? Hey, Sam. What's up, girl? Hey, everybody. I don't have a problem with weed because I want to smoke it. I love it. Okay, fucked up gamer. You do your thing. Okay, Matt. Now I understand. So Matthew says he'll sell it for dope. Well, that's you being honest with yourself. And if you know that about yourself, then you're probably doing the best thing that you need to do for you. Matt, if you are afraid that you're going to sell it for dope, why don't you find somewhere that you go in and they dose you for a week until you can get off heroin, get off fentanyl, and then taper you down, and then you'll be clean and sober from everything. Why don't you reach out to Dr. B, Matt, and see if he can help you with a program like that? What does divert mean? Divert means selling your medication or Mom, not taking it every day.
I got the game that
you did. Okay. I can't do nothing. I can't drink either. I don't know when to stop. Me neither, Megan. I have no breaks, girl. So diverting means like selling your medication. It can mean skipping days on your medication, but for the most part, diverting means not giving it to somebody else and selling it or skipping like 3 days at a time. And that's what a lot of people will do. Okay. A lot of people on Suboxone that are still wanting to get high will skip their doses for like 4 days. and you're going to be in withdrawal. You're going to be sick. You're not going to be feeling good. So it's a lot of work, you guys, to skip your dose and go and be in withdrawal all the time, and then take a Suboxone just to feel a little woozy for a few hours. It's like not worth it. Do you understand what I'm saying? But a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that, sell their medication and then skip days and all that kind of stuff. I won't allow myself take homes of my methadone because I'm just not ready yet. Mad feathers, that and that's the thing. When you get sober, you guys, it's all about being honest. Honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with nobody. So only you know, okay? And for me, it took me a long time to get to a point where I was just straight up, I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. I don't care. This is for my life. It's life or death. This is what I have to do. And so that's what I'm talking about. That honesty is key in your sobriety, because if you can't be honest, you're not going to stay sober. And people on subs have to sit there in front of the dispenser for like 5 minutes, Marcy, because they have to sit there and wait for it to dissolve in their mouth. If I was scared, I would abuse it. I'd tell the doctor's office before the visit so they work with you accordingly. Right, Merck. Right. Oh, Luca, it's okay. I know you've been struggling lately, man. We can get you back on track. Right. Hungry ghost. That's what it means. Selling, stocking up your dose, not taking it every day. Yes, that's what diverting means. A lot of people obtain diverted medication on the streets because people sell their doses. You see what I'm saying? Okay, bye, fucked up gamer. See you later, babe. Thanks for coming in. Have a good night. Don't work too hard. Sandra, what's up, girl? So, anybody else? What other questions y'all got for me tonight? I'm on an answering questions roll. I do have some good news for you guys. I got some collaborations lined up for the couple of weekends now. I think I'm going to be doing a video with Nate Dog 916. I'm going to be doing a video with Texas prison stories, and so that should be really really fun. And a lot of these guys that are that are in the prison community, you guys, have been to prison or jail behind addiction. And so we're all kind of intertwined in this whole universe on YouTube, which is amazing. Daniel, have you ever had your fingers wet and went to get your Suboxone out of the package, and then it's like melting on your fingers, so you're like, does everyone have a different sealing effect? I'm sorry, I'm learning. Okay, Jen. So, I think what they say is that, what do they say? Is it 16 milligrams? Okay, I think what Dr. B, I'll have to ask Dr. B, but I think that what he has told me on, I have a playlist on my channel, and it's all Dr. B playlists, okay? And it talks about the bioavailability of Suboxone. Okay, so with Suboxone, it is buprenorphine and it's naloxone. Okay, naloxone it don't do anything. It's just there to make sure that you can't shoot it up and shit. Okay, the buprenorphine is what is getting into your system. I'm pretty sure that it's 16 milligrams, that there's no more saturation on the buprenorphine. I know that 32 milligrams is the highest dose that a doctor can prescribe to you legally, is 32 milligrams, okay? But I'm pretty sure it's 16 milligrams, that it is pretty much anything over that maybe is just like some people need it because their bodies are different. But it's like, I think it's 16 milligrams is that amount that it tops out at. But some people have higher metabolism. Some people burn the medicine off faster. Some people are thicker and chunkier like me. And, it just depends. And, but no matter what, Jen, as long as your husband is taking his Suboxone every day as prescribed, there's no way he can feel any kind of euphoria from the medication, because that's how it works. It works from you taking it and it building up in your system. So as long as your husband's taking it every day, girl, he's straight. I'm from Baltimore. Brandon Novak from awesome recovery situation. Look up his. See Little. We all know who Brandon Novak is in here. I'm subscribed to his channel. The ceiling effect confuses me too. Why is there higher doses if it doesn't do anything? That's one thing that confuses me. I'm scared subs won't keep the sickness, etc., away from fentanyl. Okay, so just like with everybody's body, everyone's body is different, right? So some people, okay, I'm just going to shoot you straight. I'm on 12 milligrams. I was on 12 milligrams when I first started out. That was perfectly fine, more than enough for me, okay? My husband is on 20 milligrams. And so for some reason, he needed a higher dose than me. I don't know if it's psychologically, if we feel that we need more. I don't know if it's because our body's burning off faster. It's just it's a personal experience. You know what I mean? Every person is different. I talked to him on the phone this morning, Daniel, and he's actually going to come on as Big Sid, and then after that, he's going to come on as himself and share his recovery story with you guys. I cannot wait for you to hear it. Yes, Merc. And so a lot of people, some people were on like 25 bags of heroin, right? And so when they're transitioning from that 25 bags to withdraw to Suboxone, they need more to stabilize them. Right, right. And so for me, the reason it was so easy for me to transition is because you guys got to remember this. When I got out of treatment, I was 2 weeks sober. I had nothing in my system. So that's why I was able to get on a lower dose than my husband, because I had nothing in my system for 14 days. And so I went in and I got on Suboxone kind of like as a safety net, because if I relapsed, I was going to get my son taken from me forever. They were going to terminate my rights. So I went and got on Suboxone after being in treatment for 14 days. My husband had to get on a higher amount because he was going straight from withdrawal to the Suboxone. Oh, my back is killing me. Thinking about starting subs for Kratom. I know everyone says it's a bad idea, but I have reasons. Hey, NS, what's up? Well, listen to me, okay? Do you have chronic pain? Is that why you're taking Kratom? Give me a lowdown on it. Oh, my back is killing me. Sorry, guys. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of people get on Kratom because they're trying to they have legitimate pain. And then they get on Kratom, and what happens is they build up a tolerance to Kratom, you guys, and it no longer works for them. I want to suggest a channel to you, NS. Oh gosh, what's it called? My friend Avalon has a channel called Natural Addiction Recovery. Hey Robert, what's up, bud? Ooh. And she talks all about resetting herself because she's on Kratom. The only thing I'm going to tell you guys, the only reason I want you guys to be careful with Kratom is because you have to buy it from it's not FDA approved. It's like you're buying it off a vendor. It just makes me worry. So just be real careful. Make sure that, it's clean, and I don't know, just be careful. Does it cost money to talk to you on the phone since you're in the States and I'm in Canada? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so though. You can text me for sure, girl. I am down to 8, but girl, if you drop it altogether successfully, I'm considered dropping to 4. Right, Daniel? If I do it, it's going to be like a miracle, huh? So you're not on so you're so you don't have legitimate pain. It's just that you want to get off kratom, so you're going to go to Suboxone. Valerian root. Yeah, Robert, welcome to the channel, man. If you need help with anything, just let us know. We'll do anything we can do to help you. If you want to talk to a man instead of a woman, um, you can always reach out to Nick. His channel is right up here, Hopeless to Hopeful, with Coke and Xanax. Oh, baby, those are just killers right there. So, are you actively using right now? Are you sober today? You listen to me, okay? Whatever you're going through right now, you can get through this tonight, and then you can get help, man. If you're high right now, all you got to do is pick up the phone and reach out for help. And it's worth it. It's worth it because your life is worth it. And that's the thing. When we're in our active addiction, we don't love ourselves, okay? And we're we're in a bad we don't love ourselves. We have no respect for ourselves. We don't care. And so we don't think we're worth it. We don't think we're worth saving. We don't think we're worth a good life. We don't think we're worth sobriety. But it's actually not, all that's a lie. That's what our addiction tells us, that we're not worthy of recovery, that we might as well not even be here, you know? So, whatever you're going through tonight, man, I'm telling you, the best thing I can tell you right now is to reach out, get on the phone, call for help, look up a treatment center in your area and say, hey, I'm on cocaine and Xanax. I want to get sober, and get your butt to that place. Oh my God, Robert, he knows you. Okay, good. Well then, Robert, Nick, there you go. Yes, that's who I was telling you about, Robert. I know, man. And listen to me, NS. Kratom is no joke. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's easy to get off of," but I'm telling you, I have people that have tried to get off of kratom and had to go to treatment to get off of it. So I mean, it's everyone is different. You know what I mean? Whatever's going on in your life, and you're on a substance, it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? But it didn't seem to help my pain enough. That's right, Jen. Robert, you are worth it to somebody. Trust me. And sometimes we have to just be ready to surrender, And so you don't want to live this life anymore, Robert. If you wanted to stay in this life, you wouldn't be on a recovery channel right now. You wouldn't be hanging out with us on a sober Friday here on Real Talk Recovery. You'd be out there kicking it, So obviously you want to make a change, because you wouldn't be in here if you didn't, you know? Yes. You can join the Discord. You can text me at this number. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to me, I will shoot you over to Nick. Okay. So there's my phone number if you need to reach out. Right. I mean, listen, I remember you guys, and this is, I hate to say this, but I have to tell y'all, because I tell y'all everything. When I was getting high, I would go to the meetings. I would go to an AA meeting high. And it was like I was sitting in there listening to them talk about their recovery, and listening talk to them talk about surrendering and powerlessness and step one and all these things. And then they would be all happy. And I would think, how are they happy? How are they living their lives without drugs? This is so messed up. I'm never going to be there. I'm never going to get it. Right. And I'm telling you, like, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And all it takes is all you got to do is reach out for help. Like, that's the thing. Most of us are not willing to reach out for help, either because we're ashamed, or we're embarrassed, or our pride keeps us from doing it. But you've got to just surrender. You got to let go of that pride. You got to let go of that shame, and you just got to reach out for help. Yeah, and we're talking to Robert. You're talking to so many people we've all been there, and we've all turned our lives around and come to the other side of things. So we've all been where you're at. You know what I mean? We've all been where you're at. We've all been there and thought that we're never going to get to where we need to go. And we've all sat in a room and heard other people sharing about how amazing their lives are now that they're sober, and thinking we're looking at them out of the side of our neck like, how the hell is your life amazing? How are you living your life without drugs? And I'm telling you, man, living my life without drugs is amazing. It's so much better than when I was getting high, because I actually have feelings today. I actually care about my life today. I'm afraid of how much money treatment costs, and I've had real bad experiences with treatment in the past, but I'm also sick of kratom and it's threatening my heroin free life. Well, NS, okay? So there's all kinds of different options, okay? I feel like it's got to be especially hard for men. Men tend to get more flack for looking vulnerable. Absolutely, doctor. Absolutely. And I feel like, so I'm thinking about outpatients and subs maybe. Outpatient treatment is an amazing, amazing option. That sounds great. I think that's a great idea, man. Okay, I'll save it and hit you up. I'll talk to Nick every day. Good, Robert. Good. I thought I would never be sober and clean, but if I can do it, anyone can. I promise. That's right, Misty. That's right. Could someone be on the highest dose of subs and still not get relief? Like, say, if you have a massive tolerance to fentanyl, or will it help no matter what? Honestly, girl, I've never met anybody who did not get relief from the medication ever. Right, Luca? I'm so glad that you have that option. I went to a year-long program 2 years ago and relapsed after I got off probation and on for 2 years. Now, do you think I should go back in? Robert, absolutely. You better take your ass back there and run. Listen to me. I've done the same thing. I've been into treatment centers, and then I've came out and I did so good, and then I relapsed. Every time that I've relapsed, I went running back to the rehab. I think I've been to the same rehab center 3 times, because I would relapse, come out, stay sober for a little bit, and then I'd be like, I got to get back in there, because it's like, for me, you guys, it was so important for me to be separated from those people, those drugs. It was just something I had to do. It helped me so much. And if you can go into a year-long program or a 6-month long program, that is amazing, because the more time you have to heal, the more time you have to learn about the disease of addiction and change your old behaviors and learn new healthy behaviors, the better. What do you have to lose? I hear a lot of people say this. Oh, I can't go to treatment. I've got a job. Well, if you keep getting high, you're not going to have a job. I can't go to treatment. I've got kids. Well, if you keep getting high, your kids are going to get taken away by CPS. Or I can't go to treatment. I have a wife. Well, your wife is going to divorce you if you don't get sober. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. But I was the same way. I made the same excuses, you guys. I did the same exact thing. And it's just so true. And my husband, let me tell y'all about my husband. He was he was harder than I was. He did the same thing. Okay? He would not do it. He would tell me he wasn't going to do it. I'm going to have to download a better app to join these chats, but I'm glad you're out here doing this. To me about looking weak. Oh, you are NS? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, girl, I got you now. Nicole, I meet him in the program. I've tried my best to talk to him. I think he needed another viewpoint. Good. Well, I'm glad I could help him. I'm glad I could give you another point of view, Robert. Robert, seriously, get your ass back into that treatment center. I also have chronic pain too, so that with my tolerance, I'm so terrified. The pain is how it started, though. I basically drank away 10 years of my life. I promise you, Hungry Ghost. I promise you, girl. I promise you'll be all right. Wife, job, kids. Yeah, right? And if you don't have those things, then go into treatment now. You know what I mean? Because when you get out, you're going to want to be able to start a life and have a family and all these things, you know? That's right. There is no shame in getting help and needing help. Absolutely not. I've only been to 1 year long one with Nick, but I did it because if I didn't go, it was going to get through. That's right, Robert. I've been to prison, honey. And let me just tell you, if you haven't been to prison, you don't want to go. It takes bravery. Yes, it does. And it's very courageous. It's people think that it's weak to ask for help, but it's actually the direct opposite. It's a very, very courageous and brave. You know, it's hard to break away from our pride and say, we can't do this all alone. You know, it really is difficult. But when you can do that, you guys, I promise you, change is going to happen for you. Robert, you're in this place right now where you're desperate. Okay. This is a really amazing place for you to be. And this is just what you need to make the change. All right. I used to have probation over my head too. And I did the same thing. And I ended up relapsing and going to prison. So I'm telling you, man, don't let that happen to you. Go back into treatment, start fresh. I promise you, you won't regret it. Yeah, kratom is it's not going to work for somebody like you with with a fentanyl addiction. It's not even on the same fucking level, you know. Hey Hitman, what's up? But I feel like it's the end of the world, but it's not. It's not. Honey baby, if you go into treatment, it's the beginning of the rest of your life. It's a new start. It's a new beginning. Please, please, you guys have got to stop looking at life-saving treatment as something negative. Do you know how many people would die to have an opportunity to go to treatment? Do you know how many people that struggle that don't ever get to see or get help? So you should take that opportunity. Do not let that opportunity pass you by. Okay? I've been to the reception center. I know it ain't fun. No, it's not. I hated it, man. I'm going to tell a story time on somebody else's channel about time when I was in reception at prison or whatever it's called when they're, processing you through. But I hope, listen, you guys, I really, really do hope that this video helps you guys. I hope that if you're struggling with, addiction or you're struggling just in general, that you'll reach out and get help no matter what that help is, no matter if it's, maintenance or long-term treatment or intensive outpatient. Those are all great options. And that's the beauty. There's so many different options out there, you guys, for you to get help. Right, Robert? Man, listen, I understand. I understand. Marcy, I'm so glad. That makes me so happy to hear that. And you're always, well, I'm always going to support you over here. And I hope you guys understand, like, the vision I have for Real Talk Recovery is to, God, Luca, yes. But I don't have constipation. I poop every day. Yes, Jay. A lot of people, yes, the fear of withdrawal is what took me so long to get help. Absolutely. And that's what I think our girl up here, Ghost, what is your name is so freaking long, girl. I can't remember. Hungry Ghosts. That's what Hungry Ghost is going through. She's afraid of them withdrawals, so she's afraid that she won't be able to get help. But that's the thing. I promise. Okay, if you're going to be going through detox and you're coming cold turkey off of heroin, you're going to go through withdrawal. If you're wanting to get on Suboxone treatment, you're going to experience some withdrawal. Okay, no matter what, you're going to have some kind of withdrawal. Okay, you guys. So we all know it sucks, but I'm telling you, it'll be worth it for you to come out on the other side and be sober. Okay, I promise. I would never lie to you guys. Yes. But I just want you guys to know, like every Friday, okay, so listen up, everybody. Every Friday, we do these meetings on my channel. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. All you got to do is come on over, hang out with us. If you have any questions, just ask. We got you. That's right, Daniel. My husband takes fiber every day, and that really does help him. And that has regulated him also. Hey, Hitman, that's all right. Are you getting back on the wagon? When did you relapse? Did you relapse recently? Tell me what's going on? Now I got to stay for a little bit and hear what's going on with you. Listen, man, I cannot tell you guys how many times I relapsed in the past before I got sober this time. All right. And I let the shame and embarrassment of relapsing keep me from coming back. All right. Please don't let that keep you from coming back. No one here is ever going to shun you or shame you for relapsing. Okay. Now, do I want you going out and relapsing? I would prefer that you didn't, because I don't want you guys to die. But if that happens to you, you come right back. Okay. You come right back. Come hang out with us. Come spend your Friday nights with us. Make this a regular, make your Friday nights with Real Talk Recovery. Okay. Just know that every Friday night you're going to be spending it sober, because you're going to be here at 7 p.m. with us. Okay, you can consider this a meeting. If you're on parole or probation, you can send me a sheet and I will sign it. Okay. Oh man, Hitman, I've totally been there, man. Totally been there. Sleep it off. Get yourself some Gatorade, get yourself some vitamins, eat some food, drink some drink, get nice and hydrated, sleep, okay? Sleep, please. And then get back on track. Hitman, you need consistency. You need support. You need to be doing things every day that are going to contribute to your sober lifestyle, your recovery lifestyle, okay? So if that was something you weren't doing before, let's make it a priority now, okay? And if you need help making it a priority or creating a program or anything like that, you can text me or email me or DM me on Instagram. Oh, Luca, you've got to get some fiber. Get some fiber and some Miralax and drink lots and lots of water. I promise you, if you do that, you should be back to normal. Now, if that doesn't get you back to normal, you can try a stool softener. I wouldn't go with stimulant laxatives, because then your body will become dependent on the stimulant to go to the bathroom. So try those natural remedies first, the Miralax, the fiber, and the stool softener, and drink lots and lots of water, okay? And then if that doesn't work, let me know. I know, Hitman, I know. Hey, Crazy Legs, what's up? I appreciate that. Well, I'm 37, so I'm not too far behind you. Here's the thing, Hitman. I know it's hard because you've been in that same cycle for so long. That's why you got to start making, that's why you have to start a new habit. Repetition. Okay. Just like if you're wanting to get in shape or you're working out and you do reps, lifting weights, you got to do that with your recovery. You have to do repetition with your recovery. So that way you can build that recovery muscle. Yeah, you guys, I'll be 38 in March. 38 years old. March is my birthday. So I'm a Pisces. All right. Yes, you guys, every Friday at 7 p.m. I'm here. Now, I go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7. So you can find me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night, I'm here at 7. And like I said, if you guys ever need me, you can text me on the Real Talk Recovery cell phone, or you can DM me on Real Talk Recovery on Instagram, or you can email me. Any way that you need to get a hold of me, you go ahead and get a hold of me, okay? Yes, and we're all praying for, listen, that's what we're going to do. So, everybody, let's have a moment of silence, and then we're going to say the serenity prayer, and then we're going to break, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I got a speed bag bit on my channel. It's collecting dust. When is the meeting? Oh, crazy legs. I've literally been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, here we go. Let's take a moment of silence for the still sick and suffering, and then I'm going to do the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, I love you guys. I want you guys to all know that if you need anything, like I said, you can reach out to me. Oh, when are my meetings? Hitman, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Okay, that's 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. West Coast time. And then you can always find me. I'm always on here. If you can't catch me live, I'm always on here. But you can definitely catch me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7. Aw, love you guys. Here and seriously, I'm gonna listen, Hitman. I will post my schedule for next week in the community tab. So that way, if you guys ever want to check, just go to my community tab and it'll tell you exactly what's going on for the week. So, like this next Monday is going to be a step study, okay? We're doing step 4 on Monday night. So just know that if you guys want to come Monday night and hang out with us, we're going to be talking about step 4. We're going to talk about inventory and all kinds of stuff like that. So just come on and hang out with us. Hey, crazy legs, whatever works for you, okay? No judgment here. I support you in whatever you believe in. That's right. That's right. I'm not judging you either, baby. And I'm proud of everybody. Y'all did a great job. Everybody was interacting. Y'all were commenting. Y'all were asking questions. That's what I love. Like, I love it when you guys do that. I love being able to interact with you guys. This was such an awesome meeting. Robert, Hitman, I love you guys like y'all are my brothers. I know you guys can do this. Please don't get discouraged. If you are like seriously tripping, just text message me, okay? If you're a guy and you don't feel comfortable text messaging me, send me a text and I'll send you to a guy, okay? I'll send you um I'll send you a number of a guy that's in recovery. Or, thank you, Merk, we have a Discord. So Robert, Hitman, if you guys are feeling real low and you just don't have anybody to talk to, go hang out in the Discord. We got a bunch of people in there. Usually somebody's awake and we'll answer. If I'm not in there, Merk's in there. If Merk's not in there, Ryan's in there. There's a bunch of people in there. Okay, guys? All right. It's okay, Mama G. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I'll be on tomorrow, I promise. Just let me figure out what time it's going to be, and I'll put it in the community tab for you guys, okay? All right. Love you guys.